If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, or cutaway coat, perfect.
I do like the setting, especially now, not having been there in a while. Just sitting down and learning something.
Oh, yeah.
For the day, for a subject. That's nice.
Yeah. Well, it's like I'm taking A&P 2 in a lab for it, and then a few months in I'm going to be taking developmental psychology. Those are the last prereqs, and they're it's okay because it's like all the students are super serious, but what sucks about the AP classes over here is they're all run by doctors, and they're the most arrogant people on the face of the planet.
So are the people who are taking the classes with you doing what you're going to be doing, or are those classes that are shared by like people who are going to be nurses?
All pre-meds, all kinds of pre-meds. So nurses, physical therapy assistants like me, occupational physical therapy, respiratory assistants, medical assistants, dental hygienist, everybody, even doctors. Yeah. But
speaking of doctors,
so the movie for this time was Young Frankenstein, 1974 black and white comedy directed by Mel Brooks, written by Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that he actually co-wrote it.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, he's so juicy in it.
Feels really natural.
Yeah.
Like, he feels his elements in that
Wrote
movie.
it for himself.
Yeah. Exactly. But I'll talk about that more later. I think the screenplay is actually one of the strong points in it. It's a really good screenplay. But yeah, so I had recommended we watch this movie previously because I was thinking about, like, you know, man, we watch a lot of rated R movies on suggesting, so, like, you know, change it up a bit. You know, you can come up with like to the end of time, you know, like, okay, well, we'll get this spaghetti western this time, you know, do an early Coen Brothers movie over here, you know, and you're gonna all these weird Japanese films that I can think of, like, and you know, they're all some form of rated R movie, but it's like, I was like, wanting to challenge and think about, like, what would be a cool one to introduce y'all to that I was pretty sure y'all maybe hadn't seen and would be a good change of pace.
Aside from, like, the implied rape scene at
the
end, which I think we're 3 for 3 on that.
Blade Runner, check.
Deadly Prey,
check. Young Frankenstein,
Jeez.
It's
hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to happen.
History is a nightmare that we're slowly waking up from.
Yeah.
So, but man, that derailed my train of thought. Yeah, but had y'all heard anything about this movie before you watched it?
I mean, nothing specific. I just heard a lot of people like it. I never realized it was a Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah, like, I knew it was a Mel Brooks movie. I just didn't know it was in 1974. Like, I seriously thought it was an older movie than that. But, and of course, it being black and white. But,
right.
Yeah, I think he wanted to make it look like the original movie.
Yeah. Or is it the Paramount monsters? Not the Paramount, the
Universal
monsters.
Yeah. And so, had y'all seen any Mel Brooks movies before?
I've seen Blazing Saddles and History of the World.
Spaceballs. Yeah. Is that that's a Mel Brooks movie?
Yeah,
right?
Men in Tights.
Yeah.
You seen Men in Tights? Have you seen History of the World?
No.
Okay, that's a really good one.
Yeah, it's
really good. Have you seen Blazing Saddles?
That's worth it. Really it's on Amazon Prime for free.
Okay.
The Producers is another one that's kind of, some parts haven't aged really well. But that was I think that or Silent Movie was his directorial debut. And then his last movie feature was Dracula, Dead and Loving It. And there's no need to watch that one. It's really bad. It was in 1995 with Leslie Nielsen from the Naked Gun.
There's some parts in this movie that felt like Leslie Nielsen could have fit in.
Well, it's... So this is like in the time that created the aesthetic of the parody movie.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the originators. Like everything following this is a cheap copy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and it really does feel like it. Like one thing in specific, like in The Naked Gun, one of the ladies is walking down the stairs and Leslie looks up and says, "Great beaver." And then she comes down and she's wearing like a beaver pelt on her.
That's just like look at those knockers.
Yeah, great knockers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a note about that because like I'm going through the movie and I'm so like thoroughly impressed with everything. Like I like this movie a lot, but I haven't seen it to death. Mm-hmm. So this is my third time watching it. I probably saw it for the first time 10 years ago. Saw it again like 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then saw it again to watch it now. And I was putting that the joke aging, there's like examples of things that I think are always going to be funny, mm-hmm. right? Especially when it just slightly subverts the expectation and just a twist. So it's like, this is really obvious, you know. So they're sitting in the cart on the way to the castle in Germany or wherever, and
Transylvania for some reason.
Yeah, I was thinking,
which is where Dracula's supposed to be set.
And she goes, "Hey, you know, a werewolf." He goes, "A werewolf," yeah. And he goes, "Their wolf, their castle." And I was like, but like, you know, their castle is what made it funny to me. It's like their wolf. Their castle. And then, you know, he picks her, and then like just seconds after that he picks her up and he says great knockers. It's like, I think that's
so Mel Brooks-ish.
Yeah. I think though, like if 2 out of 3 of the jokes have aged well, you're doing really really good. Yeah. Which I think this movie does. So like, let me start off with the intro. So it starts off with a credit roll, and you see a pre-painted, of course it's pre-painted, but like a painted background that they're doing like a Ken Burns, like it's like an old Paramount cartoon thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, like a Popeye intro or something where they're panning through like some painted background setting the scene.
And so they try really hard. So a lot of the editing and wipes are exactly how they did it in the original Universal Monster.
What about that twisting transition?
Oh yeah.
Where they were like on the train and just like the scene just like flew around in circles for a couple minutes.
But so of course this movie references like textually, explicitly the Boris Karloff Frankenstein, mm-hmm. right? Which is the Universal Monster movie. It was made in the 30s. The Universal Monster movies are a lot older than people give them credit for, and even though they have tons of charisma with the score and the acting, they can be hard watches, mm-hmm. because it is pretty early in the history of cinema. So like Dracula is like super early. It's either the mid or early 30s when Bela Lugosi's Dracula comes out. And but so this movie doesn't, however, just reference that. It references like visually a lot more. So for instance, when you meet Madeline Kahn, the actress who plays his fiancée Elizabeth, and they're standing in front of the train station, mm-hmm. like that whole thing, that kind of thing is taken from Casablanca. So a lot of the lighting techniques and stuff. So you know the part where they drop off the brain in the door, mm-hmm. and so you know
I like that.
You kind of see the
that
thing.
Was a good joke.
Yeah,
it's like a Blockbuster return. Slip thing.
Yeah, I mean you know. So the number one thing that stood out to me was like how good this movie looks, mm-hmm. and so
I love black and white movies for that reason.
Right, because you have to put effort
into the lighting,
into every single shot, and there was a lot of impressive camera work in it. Mm-hmm. So when they would circle at the same time while dollying up, right, mm-hmm. around the table, you know. where the Frankenstein's monster would be, and then there was just a lot of cool camera work in that.
Oh yeah.
But what I think it is that this movie was made in the 70s, right? I think that the cinematographer and director of photography, I think they took the best of like black and white things that already existed. So they watched Casablanca, they watched Double Indemnity. When they're in the city, it looks like M, which is a movie with Peter Lorre, and it's one of the German Impressionist movies that really were a good 10 years ahead of the curve than Hollywood. So like I said, how like Frankenstein and Dracula are kind of hard watches because it's so early in the technology of film, right? But at the same time in the 30s, you go to Germany, and they were in the German Impressionist movement, and they were knocking it out of the park with lighting, cinematography, and all those techniques. Hollywood, took a good 10 years to catch up with. But yeah, it's probably to me the best looking comedy I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, like one shot in particular that I can think of is whenever they do find out how to get behind the bookcase.
Yeah.
They step into like a really dark hallway, and the way that like Gene Wilder is holding the candle, like in between his face and what's her name, Inga's face, it's
baby
really
girl
well shot. Like it's really good. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's an incredibly well shot movie. And
like, so you guys have seen Willy Wonka, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not in a long time.
I think I saw it like maybe a couple years ago.
Have y'all seen any of the Richard Pryor movies with Gene Wilder?
No.
They're really not worth watching. But I was just saying, you've seen Gene Wilder in color, and he has like piercing blue eyes, right? And it looks
you can kind of see it
so cool.
Yeah.
It's like illuminated,
like
right? Yeah, exactly. It's like white because his eyes are so like pure blue, and they do a little eyeliner, and he's probably got the most wildest hairdo in all of cinema. Like,
he's got one of the best screaming voices I've ever heard.
Oh yeah. I mean, he screams like throughout half of it, and like all of it feels really impactful. Like, whenever he's at the top bringing the monster to life, he's like screaming to God, like come to life, and it's really good. I mean,
it's really poetic. And so what's cool about this movie is like you said with his screaming, so it's like it accomplishes the task of being both hilarious at times and very earnestly dramatic, right? So like,
because this was a guy that was adamant about not following in his grandfather's footsteps. And all of a sudden he's lost it completely. Full force into it.
I love the book that says How I Did
It. So like at the beginning when you're introduced to he's not Victor.
He's Frederick.
Frederick, right. Frederick. And he's teaching some young doctors or whatever, and they're going over like anatomy, and he hits him with the Ricky Bobby, right? Where he goes, I am dedicated to the preservation of life. Kadoosh. Drives his scalpel. And then he just crosses his leg.
Class is dismissed. No, but I feel like that's why it was in my mind. I was just like, those like really close settings of classes. There's like maybe 30 people in that class.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Made me feel like I was like, yeah, that'd be cool to sit in. One question I did have though, what was in that box?
What box? Oh,
the box at the beginning that they.
I thought you just said it looks like his will or something, right?
Okay.
You know what? They did put a lot of emphasis on that thing,
It's kind of like a half-assed,
and it never paid off, ever.
Yeah.
Like that thing was zero importance. He even gets
he
there.
was buried with it.
Yeah, and then he gets
he even,
there.
Like, wanted to take it back.
Like he's like wrestling with the skeleton.
And he never, Frederick never even references it, right? It's not even the book that he needs. The private library. So
that could have been omitted completely, and that guy could have just been like, "Yeah, you've inherited the castle."
Yeah.
It would have worked fine. But
absolutely.
I wonder if that was on purpose.
I just think it was funny that they went to Transylvania for the castle. Because that's Dracula's castle. I don't know if that was a joke or that was just like a mistake or what.
I think it was.
I feel like it could be on purpose.
I think they maybe just crossed their wires a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. But it's like, so the good thing about this movie and why I think it succeeds as a parody, where what are the really bad movies? The date movie, epic movie, disaster movie,
scary movie.
Most scary movie. All parody movies now.
Right, they're trying to jam in as many references as possible,
and like pop culture.
Right, and that to me kind of applies to like Deadpool too, as well.
Stuff that becomes immediately aged.
Well, yeah, and it's more like how many pop culture references per minute can I get in? Like it's like Scarface with fuck, but it's pop culture references.
Yeah.
So what's cool about this movie is that it takes its time to singularly parody Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Particularly the Boris Karloff Universal Original Frankenstein.
I think it does a good job of doing that from the first scene. Those opening credits, like you get a sense of like if you didn't know what this movie was about, you would think this is a serious Frankenstein
and
movie.
Like a lot of the dramatic beats are actually like pretty dramatic and not like,
exactly. And what I think is
like all the plot points are there.
What I think is
the
true.
Jokes are in between. Some of the big climactic moments
is until you get to the third act and they have the dance number.
Yes, putting on the Ritz.
Yeah. I think that if English is your second language, you would think this is a serious movie.
You would miss out on a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's little sight gags, but it's like, but that's another thing I like about this movie is that it doesn't take its time and linger on things too much.
Yeah.
So like, you get,
Because I was thinking when he was doing the Fred Astaire number, I was just like, this is like, it's funny, but it's also like kind of grotesque in a way too. It's like,
yeah, it is.
Yeah. I like how quickly the crowd turned on him.
It's
like this is a reanimated corpse, and they're like, "Well, nice." And he kind of gets frightened for a second, and they're like, "Boo!" and throwing shit at him. It's like, whoa.
It's funny because
he's still a reanimated corpse,
they throw
guys.
Huge heads of lettuce. They're like these massive things that they're launching, but like they turn on him in every direction. Like immediately, they're disgusted for like 5 minutes straight.
They carry him out.
Yeah, they're like disgusted for 5 minutes straight, and then when they see him walk, they're like, "Oh yeah, this is great," and everyone's really into it.
Yeah.
No, but going back to what you were saying about they don't linger on their jokes.
Yeah.
A lot of that is environmental jokes. Like, whenever Frederick first meets Igor. He's like, "I'll take your bags."
Dude,
and then he pulls on the bag 1 second and then moves on and takes the little one. But like, if you weren't looking for that, you wouldn't have noticed that he like gave up on that.
Yeah. There are multiple of those.
That guy that plays Igor just looks like that.
Yeah. Marty Feldman.
Yeah.
And so what he is like a reference to is a actor named Peter Lorre. Have you guys seen The Maltese Falcon?
Oh yeah, I have, but
he plays the little Egyptian man. Something Cairo is his name in that, and more famously, you guys would remember he's parodied in a Looney Tunes cartoon. So the scientist who talks like this, and he's got the fucking big red hairy monster.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to pull up a picture of him, but yeah, that's Peter Lorre.
Okay.
And what else is cool is while I was talking about German Impressionism is one of the best movies from that era. Peter Lorre was an immigrant. He was actually a Jewish immigrant, right? He was a German Jew, and he migrated to the United States to escape the Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
So he was actually doing. It's crazy for me to think about guys like that who did like amazing artistic work, and for Germany. But then had to leave, for their lives.
They were refugees.
Yeah, to come to the United States. I could be wrong, but I think of all he got the heads up from Goebbels.
Huh.
What?
Yeah,
why?
Because Goebbels was a cinephile.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
That's interesting.
Yeah, and he really loved his work. And I could be wrong, but I think he gave him the heads up.
Wow.
Good to the Videodrome podcast. Goebbels might not have been that bad of a guy.
No one said that.
Goebbels sure liked movies.
You said that, not me.
Yeah, but there's Peter Lorre.
Yeah.
As that as that creepy dude from the Looney Tunes. But yeah, so
like his hump changes position.
Right.
I wonder if that was in the script or that just happened.
And what's cool is they recycle that joke in one of my favorite movies, Robin Hood Men in Tights, with the mole.
Oh yeah, it changes the size.
Yeah, and so that joke is so good. It works in this one too. And he goes, I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I'm a fantastic surgeon. I think I could do something about that hump for you.
What hump?
I have a hump.
It like knocks on it and it's hollow. Like
and then it changes sides like he said later. Which is exactly what happens with what's his name, Richard Lewis's mole in Robin Hood Men in Tights. But let me see. So let's go through it. So he has that awesome scene at the beginning. The movie starts off really good. There's that annoying bitch ass student trying to grind his gears. Yeah. Just the biggest know-it-all fucking.
But Dr. Frankenstein.
Queef. You mean you're not the least big guy? Whatever. Yeah. Fuck that guy.
I like how they all applauded him at the end.
Yeah.
After that horrible demonstration.
And after kicking the dude in the nuts.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Give him an extra $1.
Could that old man's legs have been any skinnier?
He was so small.
Yeah.
That was kind of grotesque.
It took him like an hour to get up off the table.
Yeah. That made me really uncomfortable.
Gene was like, nice hopping.
Yeah.
He goes, what did he say? You mother-grabbing bastard! You yellow-bellied son of a bitch!
Gene Wilder losing his mind, being upset about something is probably some of my favorite parts of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Like when he's like, no, I won't get upset, I promise. Abby normal.
Or when they lock him in when he's gonna teach the monster love, he says, "No matter what I do, do not let me out."
Just let me out of here, goddammit.
Oh yeah, he's like, Jesus Christ, let me out.
But yeah, so he does the experiment. He says that if you cut off the line from the cortex, you can, on what's the word? Involuntary actions will cease.
Yeah. And he puts that clamp on the dude's head. And he
stabs himself in the leg.
That was pretty cool. And then, so he gets that letter, talks to that dude, gets on the plane. Like I say, you meet Elizabeth, Madeline Kahn. They do the elbow rub to say goodbye.
Yeah. He's just like, no, not the nails.
Elbows. Did y'all ever do that to say hi to your friends?
When I'm holding something.
Yeah.
No.
Elbow touch. Yeah.
Yeah. When I've been holding something, I'm like, hey, what's up? And I'll
elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever done that, Chris?
No. You gotta be considerate. Put it down.
No. Proper young man.
Give him the courtesy that's due. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna
sideswipe you.
I'm not gonna elbow touch my grandma though. Like, I'll put what I have down.
Not the way you're talking.
So yeah, he gets to Transylvania.
Right, gets on the train. There's the gag where there's the bickering couple in English. Gets to Germany. Yeah. There's the bickering. They're bickering in German.
Also, amazing shot work. Like, it's just like this pulled back shot of him sitting in his seat, and he, they never cut him out of the shot.
Yeah. And
you can still hear this couple talking. You can see everything that's happening in the cabin. Like,
yeah,
those shots are really good.
I actually wrote down the minute marks for some of the coolest looking things, but I didn't bring my laptop. Oh. But were y'all able to find the movie okay? I had to sign up for a Stars.
I signed up for Stars as well.
Why? I sent you the link. I watched it on my PS4.
On the YouTube?
Yeah. GoStream.com/Young-Frankenstein works perfectly.
That blur that just happened now, that was whatever. It was a completely savory link.
I streamed it. I didn't download it.
Stars.com.
I didn't download it.
And what it's crazy is that other of his movies are on other platforms. Yeah. I wonder why this one is such a bitch. I actually bought it on DVD from Half Price Bookstore. And like 3 days ago, and then my sister-in-law, she went shopping there as well, and they took our bag home.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
that sucks.
And I was actually pretty stoked. I was like, all right, it had director's commentary on it.
Oh, nice.
And but no.
When they do stuff like that, how recent or how old is the director's commentary?
If I had to guess, for all the movies I've seen from the 70s and 80s, no exception, the director's commentary was filmed in the early 2000s.
Okay.
So it's when they were starting to do the DVD that they decided to like...
Yeah. I think there's...
It's like a retrospective kind of thing.
Yeah, I think...
I kind of like that, though.
Yeah.
I really do, too. Like, the best ones in the world, to me, which really made me want to study film, even though I've never made good on my degree, was the director's commentaries from Sam Raimi for the Evil Dead movies.
Oh, okay.
And he's talking about, like, his low-budget filmmaking. Like,
I did Spider-Man 3, right?
Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. That's not fair of you just to say.
But that's the one that
he did Spider-Man 3, right? He did a lot of movies. Drag You to Hell. There was another one he did with the Coen brothers. They were in cahoots with each other in the beginning. They both supported each other a lot in the 80s and early 90s. Crime Wave, I think it was called. It wasn't directed by... The Coen brothers wrote it, and Raimi shot it. It's a piece of shit, though. But, Darkman. That's the big ones he did with Liam Neeson.
That's like a Tim and Eric skit.
Darkman?
Darkman, I think it might be, yeah.
I don't remember
with
that
Marilyn
one.
Manson.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Warner as the Darkman.
Yeah, but...
What was... in that same area, sorry to get back to it, there's like, he asked the kid, are we in Transylvania? He's like, yes, can I shine your shoes?
No,
thank you.
Yeah, that was really weird.
I like that one.
It's just, no. It's like when he gets pissed off with the lady of the house.
Yeah, Cloris Leachman.
Yeah.
Frau
like Bruch or something.
Something like that. Bruline or something like that.
I mean, I feel kind of like
the horses got upset with it.
Yeah, the horses were not happy.
He's Christopher of
you're gonna censor that, but
Croatian. Yeah. What's it? Not Croatian. Polish and German. I was like, man, what? Like, I feel like there might be some in jokes in some of those things that like maybe what. Bruller? Is that a given name?
The names might be gags.
Yeah, they might be gags.
Okay.
Would you know, Chris?
No.
Anything pop out like that? Yeah.
Yeah, he like gets pissed off at her. She's like, maybe some warm milk.
Oh yeah, she's trying to get her rocks off. So that's Cloris Leachman. Do y'all know who she is?
Mm-mm.
I only know of her because of this movie, and because, well, she was also in Beer Fest, which was like an early 2000s comedy.
Jeez.
But
pretty old by then.
Yeah, but no, in the late 2000s, she did Dancing with the Stars.
What?
And I watched like the first 2 seasons of Dancing with the Stars, and
was that that show had the host of America's Funniest Videos, right?
Yeah. What's his name?
Like Tom Bergeron.
Yeah, Tom Bergeron.
Yeah.
Nice. He's still the host.
Yeah.
That show's still going on?
Still going. Yeah, still going. But
they had Carlton last season.
So around like 2009, she was in it, and she was still doing the dirty old lady shtick. Like, I just remember her flashing her like butt with her skirt, and it was all patty, like there were depends under it, and I was just like, oh, I'm so sick of this, because it was every week.
Yeah.
Every week she was doing something nasty old lady, and so she's been doing it for 74. That's like 44, almost 45 years. She's been doing the dirty old lady shtick. But yeah, so let's see. He gets to the castle, meets Igor, meets Inga.
Also, Inga's looking for a roll in the hay.
Oh yeah, run. Oh man, I think she was so good.
I mean, yeah, she did great. Like
as like a crew, Igor, Frankenstein, Inga, they were a great team.
Yeah.
Like I would have wanted to watch one season of a show with them.
Just one.
Just one. I would have wanted to burn.
I was a big fan of the cop with he had like a wooden hand.
Oh, his introduction scene where he's just
He lights his finger on fire to light his cigar.
Oh, the blind guy, Gene Hackman's character.
Yeah,
he was a highlight. I wish I could have seen more of him. More of him.
Was he trying to screw Frankenstein's monster?
I don't know.
I think he was taking what he could get.
Yeah. He was very lonely. He made that abundantly apparent. But all right, backtracking the movie. Then boom, they're in. He discovers, he hears the music playing at night. He succumbs to the fate of his lineage. Him and Inga find the bootcase. They have
he gets stuck in
the Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Even when he's quiet, he's so enraged.
Yeah.
When he's stuck between the wall and the book.
Do not move that candle.
Here's the thing, man. I feel sorry for like any kid who only like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Do y'all like that movie? I think it's a good movie.
I enjoyed it.
I don't feel strongly.
I watched it a lot when I was little. Like,
I watched it a lot, not out of choice. I feel like
I feel the same way actually.
Yeah,
it was just like on sometimes.
Like I watched at school. It would be on at home, and somebody wanted to watch it, and that's a good movie. It's a good movie because it's visually cool, and it's a disturbing kids movie, which I like. But aside from that, like that's not like peak Gene Wilder, you know. So
but
like I feel
his performance was great in that movie.
It was, but like he doesn't even call anyone a dumb bastard.
Yeah, which
is when he's hitting that.
What's his character's name in Blazing Saddles?
Oh, I can't remember.
Guy that's like the fastest gun in the world.
But do you have a favorite line you can remember from him?
Not really, no.
I do. When he goes, he goes, I have a problem, keeping my hand steady.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
look at it. And he lifts his hand. He's like, looks great. He says, "This is my shooting hand." He lifts his other hand in it.
I forgot about that.
But I mean, who can act in that way today? You know how in the movie, like, he's very straight.
Yeah.
He's not winking at the camera at all, There's no irony in his performance. Like who acts like that, and does it in a comedic way.
Yeah.
Like everything is so.
I think that underscores it is how straight laced he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be in on the joke. It seems genuine and like.
But it's also like, what is the joke? Like, it is a funny movie, but like, what's the joke even at some points?
Well, it's like, the comedy of his performance is the absurdity of it and the heightenedness, right? It's heightened beyond reality. And, that's a great way to have comedy. Like, once again, you don't need to just make everything a reference and everything make fun of something, even though this whole movie's, but it's not even really about making fun of Frankenstein.
Most comedies now they come out and they fall by the wayside immediately. No one cares. No one's gonna buy a DVD of a recent comedy unless it's like something really special. So I feel like Office Space is honestly like the last really good comedy.
Because the thing is, they don't throw it in your face. Like, you know what I mean? You get the impression with watching those movies that they made it to make you laugh. And I think with this one, they do a really good job of...
It's also a film, too.
Yeah, like, I think they do a pretty good job of stepping back with this movie and putting funny things in it for you to notice rather than...
Yeah, they started with a competent story and filled it in, I feel.
Yeah.
Instead of the other way around, where they built a skeleton around a bunch of gags.
And you know what else is great is, like, the performance, especially of Gene Wilder, is great.
Yeah.
Like, and it's anchored around a performance. And it's like, don't get me wrong, like, I do like I like Talladega Nights. Like, I don't have any problem saying that.
Yeah.
But it's like, it just seems like those two things are not the same.
Yeah.
What Will Ferrell does as Ricky Bobby, what he does as Chaz Michaels in Blades of Glory, what he does as, I forget the guy in Semi-Pro, but all three of those movies, they're basically the same character, just a different version of arrogant and stupid, and they don't know it, right?
Yeah.
But like,
I think also like the distinction is it falls in like, I don't think anyone who is really into film or respects it in a way would ever say, "Oh, I love Talladega Nights. That's one of my favorites." And people will say that about Young Frankenstein.
well,
You know what I mean?
I do really love Talladega.
All right.
Like,
Stand corrected.
a lot.
Chris is like, what I'm trying to say.
What I'm like,
Any self-respect.
a lot. No, but you know what it is like I said, like Gene Wilder's character's like unhinged, right? Like comedy coming from, like, that's a unique place, you know, making a character. It's like we have 1,000 dumb, arrogant, you know,
And he's not incompetent either.
male, incompetent leads. That's another great point. Doesn't come from him being an idiot.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was trying to find, is that point that you made. He's not an idiot. Like, the comedy comes from somewhere else, you know.
Yeah.
But so, you know, after they make the plan, they're gonna dig up the graves, and you know,
And they drop the coffin.
or I also like the joke that when they're at lunch or breakfast, and he's like, naturally the organs will have to be big or artificial. She goes, he'll have an enormous, and I can't remember the word.
Oof.
He goes, that goes without saying, or something.
It's, man, it is incredible to me, like, how well that joke paid off.
Yeah.
Like mentioning that,
Yeah.
and then leading up to it, because I
It ends on that.
well,
Basically, yeah.
and that's what I mean though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's a 1-2 punch, because not only did they set it up that early.
Yeah.
At first, I thought the payoff was when Elizabeth had sex with the monster,
Yeah.
but then they pay it off a second time by saying, "Oh yeah, Gene Wilder now has an enormous penis."
How?
Yeah.
We don't know. But somehow it also makes Inga sing the same song. My wife was listening to me watch the movie and not really paying attention, and at the end she was singing the song. Like they see heaven now or something.
Yeah. Okay, so skipping ahead to the very end, what I'm really confused. Those last, like, I would say 4 shots.
When it's like,
Yeah, it like
when they're
starting.
in bed?
Yeah, starting when Gene is carrying Elizabeth into the room.
mm-hmm.
What happens? Because it cuts from him saying, or it cuts from her saying, "Keep your hat on." He takes his jacket off and he keeps his hat on.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to the monster reading the Wall Street Journal.
Just
on
like-
his bed.
And Madeline Kahn is like,
Yeah. And then it cuts to Inga
yeah,
drawing Gene into bed.
yeah.
What?
Like you're confused about like what explicitly
What is
actually
actually happening?
What is actually happening?
So is she?
Okay, so a part of what I think, and tell me if you disagree, Chris. I think basically what it's saying is when they swapped spinal fluids a bit, the monster ended up with a bit of Frankenstein's essence, which is his eloquence and education, whatever. You see that. And then what Frankenstein got from the creature was somehow his enormous dong, but also like,
Dude,
like some of it.
it's like Liquid Snake and Revolver Ocelot.
High five.
Nice. And like Deadly Prey, this movie gave birth to
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid.
All great things, stem from,
Yeah.
equally
It's the peak
built
of art.
on the
Yeah.
shoulders of giants. This shit is it is one of those situations, and it's like
Well, like okay, so I get what happened in the movie, but I don't
somehow
understand.
Why did they put that in there?
The chronology of those events.
I assume they're happening at the same time after the events of the movie.
So whenever
they shook hands with the monster, the creature, he's no longer.
So stupid.
When he takes his arm, he just goes, "Oh shit."
Also, that guy, the monster, was the dad in Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, I was working on how to get to that joke because it was like, "Oh, he's hideous," and I was gonna say he's Ray Romano's dad. Oh.
You worked it in.
Yeah.
But no, it was just confusing to me. So I'm guessing Elizabeth sneaks out from her marital bedroom to go to the monster.
Oh, that's where you're confused.
It's what
did you blink? Inga marries Frankenstein.
Oh.
They show her in a wedding dress with
I
Frankenstein.
thought that was Elizabeth.
No, it's not.
Oops.
They both have blonde hair.
Whoops.
Like I see how like if you kind of look at your phone, look back up, look like.
I think I was writing a note down about what happened in the thing before it. And I'm like, oh okay, they were fiancés. I guess they got married.
Oh, that okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, never mind.
So they're in two separate scenes.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be confusing.
That last shot of the monster is incredible though. Like just reading the newspaper.
There were a lot of good little visual gags like that lasted like maybe 3 or 4 seconds. Like when Igor is about to take the brain, he puts his hand on the glass and goes,
yeah,
like that, and looks at the camera.
Oh, there's like zoom ins occasionally,
yes.
And it just like zooms in,
good.
and then it's a still image. Like when he first meets Igor, it just zooms in on his face, and it's just
It's like a weird little introduction.
Also, what do they do with those brains? Like,
oh yeah, just the brain laboratory.
I love it. Just abnormal brain. Do not use. Do not use for
Oh,
what?
It's just like the gothic world they created where there's a brain depository.
and descriptors for all the brains.
Yeah.
The guy they wanted was a saint and a scholar.
Yeah.
And then abnormal.
Just do not use.
Do not use.
For what? Yeah. What was it gonna be used for?
Why did they keep it? Like.
Do not use.
Oh, it's so good. It's really good. The fact that Igor scares himself with his own hand. Like he opens the door and his hand is there. He's like, oh.
That's definitely the slapstick character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
but like movies like this are great examples of like slapstick can be good.
Yeah.
And what I like about this movie is like comedies don't age well, which is why there's like so few of them in the AFI Top 100. It's like, man, like I'm trying to think of like comedies that I think really, really age well, and it's like, I actually like gags and slapstick do. I mean, it's like a lot of temporary things when you're doing characters and like that doesn't age well.
Yeah,
you know?
like stuff like Tom and Jerry will perpetually be funny.
Right.
Yeah, that's why people still love Disney stuff.
Yeah. But
yeah, like this, I think this movie does pretty good with the slapstick that it does use, like the charades scene.
Oh yeah.
When Frankenstein's getting choked.
Well, they do it a second time too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like when they use the inspector to bust open the doors.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, with his hand.
And what I like is that you don't see them like pounding him.
Yeah.
It's the moment you hear him and you're looking at the other side, and then they just ram through, and he's coming straight at the camera.
Like how it was just expected that's his role. He just climbs up and gets ready. Like they've done it before.
Oh, they have. Like the elder said, this is the 5th time this has happened, or something.
Oh man. What does he say? He invites everyone to his house for something after they figure out that the monster is cool.
Oh.
It's just like everyone come to my house for like rosé or something like that.
I don't know.
It's something stupid. But yeah, that blind guy. Like,
I love
he
that
pours
character.
soup on the monster.
I like it when he breaks the mug.
It's so good.
That scream that he lets out is very primal.
When he throws that girl, he like sits on the seaside and launches her through the window.
But yeah, one of the last things is so when they show the little girl picking flowers, That is the quintessential scene from the Boris Karloff movie.
And from the Mary Shelley book. Like that and the blind guy, that happens in the book.
Yeah.
I read the book in high school, and like those scenes, even though I haven't seen the original movie,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, this does happen.
Yeah.
Like there's a blind guy who feels his face.
The girl looks just like also from what they did in the original movie.
Oh wow.
And
yeah.
but no, that was it.
Oh yeah. No, but like with the blind guy scene, I thought it was pretty funny because like the way that it ended is, so in the book, in the original book, the monster is having a conversation with the blind man, and he's telling him about how he's hated and disgusted, and the blind man's like, you can't be that bad, and stuff like that. He's having a conversation, and then once the monster feels comfortable with the blind man says, may I touch your face? Mm-hmm. And when he touches his face, he's like, you're a monster, get out of here. And I love the fact that they flipped it on its head in this one, and the monster's just so pissed off about stuff. He's just, fuck this guy, I'm leaving.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I was one thing that maybe I was hoping for, and this is a weird thing to hope for, but I thought when he pulled out the cigars, I thought they were like firecrackers or something, and I thought that's why the monster was freaking. I was like, no.
Well, I was just hoping for a shot of the monster leaning back, smoking a cigar.
He does lean back and smoke post-coitus.
He smokes.
That's true.
He
That's
smokes
true.
2 cigarettes.
That's true.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
That makes it worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd like, man, there was that scene where, when you have a movie and you need to establish the audience is supposed to root for the character, it's called saving the cat. So
in reference to what? Like what was the original?
To show
cat
that
say?
the original one?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. It could be a convention that existed before film.
Oh, okay.
Just whenever you want to show people they need to root for the dude, show them saving a cat.
Okay.
There's a good side. Like you have a gangster, and then you take time for a scene
Have a tender moment.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was like the opposite, the love scene.
Yeah, that
air
really
quotes.
was.
Yeah.
Love scene.
It was a loss of innocence.
It was like, oh man, I was
sure.
I was on the side with you, monster. I was on the side. It's like not woke.
Yeah.
Not cool. Consent is in, and it's always been in.
Yeah.
So
It is funny how you explore these old movies. It's like,
Yeah. Jeez.
jeez.
Yeah.
And like when it came out, no one batted an eyelash. It was just like,
yeah.
that's funny. Whoa, look at that.
look at that.
I did like the scene though whenever Inga and the doctor are like descending down on the surgery table.
Yeah.
And they're just underneath covers. He's like, what did I tell you about interrupting me during work?
Also, the elevate me joke.
Oh, right here?
Here? But yeah, I think now we've mostly covered everything. That was Young Frankenstein.
I had a great time watching it because today was the perfect day because it was raining outside.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that seems like the perfect day for a black and white movie.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I don't know what it is.
Yep.
It's the right atmosphere.
Yeah, it was really funny. It was funny in a different way.
Yeah.
I was expecting a little bit more slapstick.
I was too.
Yeah.
I was too. Compared to Blazing Saddles, which is just like full throttle the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good movie. A hell of a performance from Gene Wilder. Like that can't be overstated.
Yeah.
Like he was really fucking good in this movie.
Yep. It's my favorite Mel Brooks movie.
Is it your favorite comedy?
It's not my favorite comedy.
What's your favorite comedy?
It's not Talladega Nights.
MacGruber.
Oh no, it's not MacGruber.
Hangover 3.
I can't believe there's 3 of those.
So, yeah, Chris, what are you thinking?
We're slinging it to you.
I have 3 movies I really want to do. Of course, I can only do one at a time.
Oh.
And I don't want to do a comedy right after you, so that
Another
knocks one
comedy.
out.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to do it yet. And then I had another movie, but I'll hold off on that too. So, and we talked about this earlier, Art. And I know I'm probably stealing your thunder a little bit,
That's all right.
but I'm going with Yojimbo,
Oh yes, I've been wanting to watch
which was
it.
1961, I believe, or 60 maybe.
Yeah, it's black and white,
Kurosawa film.
and it's like, Seven Samurai was like 54.
Yeah.
It was after that. And so that sounds about right, like early 60s, because Sanjiro's one of the last.
And that's 62. I just watched that the other day.
Sanjuro is getting towards the end of the black and white ones. But yeah, you want to tell them about it?
I mean,
I know a little bit about it. Oh, the audience, right?
Yeah, I mean, the basic thing you need to know is that it was a huge influence on like all spaghetti westerns, really.
Yeah, on storytelling period.
Well, yeah,
you know the
like Star Wars was influenced by Kurosawa's Hidden Fortress, and
right.
Bug's Life is Seven Samurai.
Yeah, Bug's Life is Seven Samurai, Magnificent Seven Samurai, and then there's other movies which get away with it by changing their fucking number, like a bunch of cowards. Like whenever you got like a group of ragtag like
Defending
personalities,
Ridiculous Six,
motherfucker, yes.
At least Hateful Eight wasn't that movie.
Hateful Eight was not. Yeah. But another big one that Kurosawa did that now a lot of people talk about, but not is Rashomon. Have you ever heard of Rashomon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you've told me about
that's where they talk about different perspectives and everybody is retelling an event.
I mean, that was the convention used in The Last Jedi.
Yeah. And
have you ever read the book As I Lay Dying?
By William Faulkner?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where like it's one story, but every
told
so
from
often
different perspectives.
Dude, I'm looking forward to watching. This is gonna be my first Kurosawa movie I'm gonna watch with my new sound system, my home theater at my house. I'm gonna get find the nicest version I can find with the best sound.
Hell yeah!
It's gonna be sweet. But
yeah, really looking forward. I haven't seen it. I
have such a way with shot composition.
I've seen one shot from that movie.
I mean, you could take like almost any shot from it and like hang it up like a poster.
Yeah.
I love the way they look.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've never seen a Kurosawa film, but
this is probably my favorite that I've seen. I want to see High and Low really badly. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
No, you can't change it now.
No, I don't want to change it now, but for the future, I think I might choose that. Or you should choose it, right? I don't want to make choices for you, but...
We'll see. This
is going to become the Kurosawa podcast.
Hello, I'm Akira. And
Daniel-san.
This is Daniel-san. And Chris Kaneda.
Also, the lead actor Toshiro Mifune is one of the coolest
baddest
actors.
Motherfucker. Oh my god. It can't be overstated.
I feel like a lot of anime faces are like drawn directly from pictures of him.
The ones that matter.
Yeah.
Like Fist of the North Star.
Yep.
Yeah. The Lone Wolf and Cub manga. Yeah. But
yeah, looking forward to it.
I enjoy that movie a lot, so I'm looking forward to rewatching it and discussing it on the next cast.
All right, you pissants, get ready for it.